All right, this is Rudy, May the 12th. I wanted to capture my conversation with Miss Heath in the Blackwater River property room. I did call them and ask them about, I was going to ask them about 3 different packages. One of them arrived, the composition notebooks, the tracking number from the United States Postal Service arrived on April the 15th, which is, quite some time ago, nearly a month ago. And I have 2 other books that I sent, a concordance, Peter Ruckman Bible, commentary Bible, as well as I sent him Galileo Was Wrong. And I was going to ask about all of those. Miss Heath answered the phone from the property room, and I said, I would like to record the conversation if that's okay with you. And she put me on hold, came back to the phone, and she said, you will not be allowed to record the conversation. We record the conversation. And rather than get into an argument with her, what can I do, right? But I got to tell you, man, it makes my blood boil that this GO prison uses the excuse that they record the conversation, but they don't allow me to record the conversation. Well, the Florida prison law is that both parties have to consent. She didn't ask for my consent. How come I got to ask for her consent? Anyway, this total double standard, reprobate, evil, satanic system is just BS, and I can't wait for the whole thing to be torn down and replaced with, something just. But anyway, I didn't record the conversation because she wouldn't allow me, but she was admitting during the call that she was recording me. No problem. I'm recording you. You don't need to record it. Anyway, I'll get over that. I didn't even act mad because it's like I can't afford to upset these people that Sean has to deal with every day. But what she said is that Sean is only allowed to have 6 books in his possession at any one time that are not educational and religious. And I said, well, how do you define education and he said, as long as the books are educational and religious, he can have an unlimited number of books. And I said, well, how do you define educational and religious? And she used an example like if it's about birds or something. I said, well, maybe he's being educated about birds. She said, well, maybe if the book is being used for him to take a college course. I'm like, well, he's going to be stuck there 18 years, and these people are making these vague rules about he can only have 6 books at any one time that are not educational or religious. If it is educational or religious, then he can have an unlimited number of books, but they get to determine what's educational or religious. I asked Miss Heath, and I got to say she was nice. I mean, she's just a pawn in the system. She wasn't like rude to me, except that she wouldn't let me record her, which is another. Anyway, you guys know how I feel about that. But she said she doesn't really know if I have access to the rules and regulations in the public, because I said I didn't know about him being able to only have 6 books at any one time. And she said, well, that's not a new rule. That's been a rule that's been in place. I said, well, is there any way that I can educate myself further about his rules, about these 6 books? And she pointed me to the DOC, Department of Corrections website. Anyway, this whole system is satanic, and they write the rules such that they can be manipulated at any point in time, any way they want. And so if they determine a book is not educational purposes, and it doesn't go along with their definition of educational or religious, then they won't let Sean have it, right? It's just very clear to me that the system is just absolutely absurd. It needs to be revamped. The whole thing needs to be destroyed, and prison industrial complex motivated by greed, money, and power. That's what this prison industrial complex is motivated by. I didn't really get any answers as far as my books that I sent to Sean. The only thing she could tell me was that Sean has a lot of books, and a lot of them haven't been given to him yet, that the property call-outs have been canceled multiple times, and that Sean has a lot of books, and she don't know when he'll be given the book. So it was very vague. I'm not going to give you any specific answers. Just referring to rules that are vague. And anyway, I just, God help me if I ever get stuck in this prison system, because I just refuse, man. It's like we got 4% of the world's population in America and 25% of the world's prison population. What do you think? What do you determine from that? I determine that there's something wrong with the system. That's what I determine.